كل شيء تحت الماء، كل طير في الأجواء، كل شيء تحت الماء، ربنا قد جل علاه من مياه قد سواه. حينما نعطش بالماء نرتوي فالماء شفاء، حينما نعطش بالماء نرتوي فالماء شفاء. لو جرى فوق الصحراء أصبحت أرضا خضراء، لو جرى فوق الصحراء أصبحت أرضا خضراء. جل من بالماء يجود، ربنا الحق المعبود. كل شيء حي كان من نبات أو إنسان، كل شيء حي كان من نبات أو إنسان، كل طير في الأجواء، كل شيء تحت الماء، كل طير في الأجواء، كل شيء تحت الماء، ربنا قد جل علاه من مياه قد سواه. كل شيء حي كان من نبات أو إنسان، كل طير في الأجواء، كل شيء تحت الماء، ربنا قد جل علاه من مياه قد سواه، من مياه قد سواه.
दरस-ए-कुरान.com आपके लिए पेश करता है तफसीर कुरान मौलाना असलम शेखुपुरी साहब की आवाज में।
और अल्लाह कहते हैं याद करने के लिए आसान, पढ़ने के लिए आसान और समझने के लिए आसान।
इसके अलावा इस मकबूल वेबसाइट पर आप सुनिए मारूफ आलिम दीन के इस्लाही बयानात।
तो इस्लाम का नजरिया ये है, इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन।
हम नात बच्चों के लिए इस्लाही कहानियां और बहुत कुछ।
मोहम्मद का रोज़ा करीब आ रहा है, बुलंदी पे अपना नसीब आ रहा है।
www.darsaquran.com
Creator of the universe, leader of mankind, creator of the universe, leader of mankind, creator of the universe, leader of mankind, creator of the universe, leader of mankind. Allah, our creator, Muhammad, our messenger. Allah, our creator, Muhammad, our messenger. Allah, our creator, Muhammad, our messenger. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Creator of the universe, leader of mankind. To Allah's commands we obey, we worship. To Allah's commands we obey, we worship. In Muhammad's way we live, in peace and harmony. In Muhammad's way we live, in peace and harmony. In Muhammad's way we live, in peace and harmony. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Muhammad our beloved, peace be upon him. Muhammad our beloved, peace be upon him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. My heart, mind, body and soul.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ready. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters out there in Radio Munadil Islam Land. I'm joined by a very special guest I shall introduce in a moment. My name is Riyaz Jasat and I'm on the Monday nightly show, 9 o'clock till 10. The Muslim greeting, Assalamu alaikum, means peace and blessings be upon you. Peace is one of the basic tenets of the Muslim religion. And I'm joined here to discuss a very topical discussion about terrorism and how we should react to it. I've got PC Bill Knopp, is it?
I'm an inspector, actually.
Inspector, apologies.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, Bill Knopp is here, Inspector. Could you introduce yourself and what your role is?
My name is Bill Knopp. I'm a local police inspector pointing that way towards Spinney Hill. I used to be the local police inspector there, and I now work in preventing violent extremism.
Excellent, good. Very topical at the moment in light of current events. So we'd like you to share this Facebook live feed with all your colleagues and try and get some engagement. Any questions you have for Bill, I'm sure he's happy to answer them. You could send in a message through the Facebook media. You can even send us a text on 07510 769997, and you are welcome to phone in on the studio line. That's Leicester 0116 4622 506. You're listening to Radio Munad al-Islam, or miradio.co.uk, available online on apps through MixLR, TuneIn and Spreaker.com, and also via the purpose-built app you can get online. So we're going to talk a little bit about the current events. Now, obviously, it's very topical, Bill. What sort of background have you got in terms of your role in this sort of situation?
Well, my role in Prevent is very much about trying to stop things happening in the first place. So Prevent isn't about criminal investigations. Prevent is about safeguarding and trying to identify people long before they end up on the road to doing something like this.
Right.
Go on, sir.
Go on, Karen.
And I think it's quite a misunderstood. There's huge misconceptions in the community in relation to it, perceiving it as something that is spying on communities. I spend most of my time, my team are in uniform. We'd be the worst spies ever, really,
right.
Because we try and explain as fully as possible what we're doing in an open way. And in an ideal world, Masood might have been identified long before he went down this road and committed this.
Right. I mean, I appreciate it's very difficult. He was on the periphery of the people that they were looking at, and they said that he was on the radar, but not one of the prime individuals that they were looking for, weren't they?
I mean, my understanding from what I've read in the press was that he was he'd been on the periphery of investigations some years ago. Yes.
I think a lot of the Muslim population get labelled automatically whenever there's a terrorist activity of this sort of nature. But when you start to dig deeper, don't you find that in most cases these individuals have had an issue with a violent upbringing or social inadequacy, which has caused a lot of their problems? Because apparently this, I'm only going by what I've heard in the news, this gentleman was an unstable Christian before he was an unstable Muslim, but they're labelling it as a Muslim terrorist, and that's what the community are a little bit upset about.
I agree. I don't think labels are helpful, but also it's very difficult to describe exactly what a terrorist may look like or may not look like. There are terrorists who have good educational backgrounds. There are terrorists who have dropped out from school and college. Some are in employment, some are not. I think the commonality tends to be that there has been some underlying grievance in their lives, perhaps at various levels. At family level, something that's happening in their neighbourhood, as well as something they're responding to at a national level.
I would agree. I mean, sorry, just put my phone on silent. Just got a message from my son saying YouTube's not working, Facebook Live not working either.
Okay.
Facebook Live should be working. It just says your connection is weak. Oh, that's on that one. Okay. It's a weak connection on the Facebook here. So apologies if you can't see us on Facebook. We've got a slightly weak connection here. We're going to try and get you on the main monitor. Thank you for that comment. You can listen in without the benefit of social media. You can listen in on miradio.co.uk. But Facebook is a good interaction. You can actually see myself and Bill here. And just waiting for the connection. Sorry, Bill.
That's fine.
I mean, we'll just carry on talking. Most criminals have a commonality, you say. There's a common denominator for most criminals. And it seems to be that I work in the prison service, in the healthcare department. Mm-hmm. A lot of the patients we see there seems to be they had issues with drug-related problems. So shouldn't we be declaring a war on drugs, possibly, as well, to sort of weed out these individuals at the outset?
That's a very good question. I know that in relation to Masood, there's been issues around substance abuse alleged around him. I think what there essentially is a cocktail of vulnerabilities that are existing in people's lives, whether that's a domestic situation with exposure to substance misuse, whether that's issues around employment, perhaps exposure to racism, and a need to tackle those things in the round, as opposed to find one kind of silver bullet that might solve all those problems.
Correct. I think at the outset we all condone terrorism, irrespective. It's not a religious